switch to fashion portal Myntra, which is kicking off its biannual sale this weekend. They call it the End of Reason sale, and we're joined by its CEO Ananth Narayanan on the show today to really take us through this. Ananth, thank you so much for joining us on ET Now Startup Central. Your big sale is kicking off this weekend. What kind of expectations is really being built into this? And the kind of growth numbers that you expect as far as the sale is concerned?
Sure. So look, we're very excited about the End of Reason sale, right? I think this is, as you said, a biannual event. This is our 4th edition. We call it the End of Reason sale. It's a fashion event, which is like the end of season. We expect almost 20x the revenue that day, right? So this is going to be enormous for us. And the sale will run for Saturday and Sunday, 2nd and 3rd. We're doing some incredible stuff with the brands, partnering up with them. More than 2,000 brands will participate. And we'll have sales for up to 80% off. So we're very excited. I think it's a great deal for customers. We also have enough supply chain capacity planned so that customers actually have a great experience when they shop with us. So the deliveries and the NPS, which is the way we measure consumer experience, doesn't suffer because of the sale.
All right, Ananth, this is Krishna here from ET Now's Mumbai studios. You have some multiples, but give us actual numbers. You have crossed the $500 million mark in terms of revenues recently. Tell us, where do you see this heading? How many more landmarks can we see going forward?
Look, I mean, I'm hoping that, as I said, it's a 20x jump, so it's a big shift in baseline. I've talked to you before about this. We're going to try and get to $1 billion run rate this year, right? And I'm hoping that the sale actually allows us to get a big ramp up to that 1 billion, right? So I think it'll be a fairly large jump, because the way we think about these events is that they're actually a big consumer acquisition channel for us, right? So customers, a lot of first-time customers will come in. We expect more than 10 million people to actually come to our app those couple of days, right? So.
You mentioned first-time buyers, and how difficult is it going to be to lure them? Will this come at the cost of profitability? Take us through that.
Sure. So firstly, by the way, as you well know, Myntra is one of the few players that actually is on its path to profitability. We've been focused on it much before any government directive. So over the last 9 months, we've continued to focus on unit economics and how do we make the unit economics work, right? So that's point number 1. Number 2 is, in reality, end of season sale is actually a fashion phenomenon. All the brands are actually participating in it because that's what they do. You go from spring, summer to autumn, winter, and you have a big sale in between so that you clear out your inventory, right? This is what the brands do. So the brands are the ones that are actually leading this with us, right? So we're absolutely compliant. What we're doing, which is different than what most offline people do, is offline end of season sales happen over 6 weeks. We're trying to make that happen in 2 days in a very Myntra-esque fashion, where we actually get huge scale and huge spike in 2 days, right? That's the big difference, right?
All right, Ananth, let's discuss the big story of the day, the 7th pay commission hike, which is expected to boost consumption as well. Tell us what broad consumption patterns that you witness, and how do you see it changing going forward?
Sure. So I think, look, one thing, there are 2 macro things that we're seeing, both of which I think are very helpful for Myntra. One is, by the way, I see lots more tier 2, tier 3 shopping that's going to happen. I think that continues to be a big trend. I think it's 55% of our revenue today and continues to climb. So I expect that there will be a lot of that comes in this sale. The other, by the way, is that I think just with the selection of brands that we have, I expect a lot of women consumers to keep coming again and again, right? I think we have some terrific brands that are there, right, in our portfolio, and I think that I expect to also actually see a scale up. So both, I think, tier 2, tier 3, as well as women are the 2 big trends that I see, and I see that playing out in the sale.
Right. Ananth, you outlined how the recent norms with respect to discounts won't impact you. But finally, before we let you go, just want to know the recent shift that you made from app only to, launching your desktop again, relaunching your desktop again. How has that really helped you in terms of the traction that you're seeing on the Myntra side?
Yeah. No, I think, look, we are always going to be a mobile-first company. I think there's no doubt about that, right? The app channel is always going to be 80-85% of our revenue. So that's what we're seeing. Today, desktop is about 10% of our revenues. I expect it to become 15%, but I still find the dominant thing is mobile. India is a mobile market. We're not going to go away from that. Our app-only move helped us do that. I think the desktop move is helping us attract a certain segment of women consumers, people with multiple devices, all of that. I expect that to be about 10-15% of sales.
Thanks so much for that, Ananth, and we will catch up with you next week to really find out how the sale went and if you have met your targets.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.